Hello world, it's dangerous to go alone. Take me, Max Stein, because I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I also love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games that we love of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children or anyone with a brain for that matter. This week, we are discussing a game of the past. It is Zelda's North American, specifically, 38th birthday.
Ooh.
As of today, of
That's
this
a game.
release. What a game. So not the Japanese disc system birth of Zelda. That's right. I'm talking about the American cartridge made of solid gold that actually took the whole country by storm. So I went back and played it. Raph went back and played it. It was part of Buck's childhood.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to give it a little bit of due today and discuss the OG Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I feel like I always want to say the words Nintendo Entertainment System like Mark Summers in an episode of Double Dare because I feel like it has to be.
No, it wouldn't have been Mark Summers. It would have been the what was the announcer guy's name that did all the prizes?
Right,
Harry,
sure.
Larry.
Oh God,
Darn it.
They never named
Barry.
that man. It was
No,
too
they
dangerous
did.
to
It was
do
Barry.
so.
He'd be like, Harry, tell them what they won, something like that. Down.
But I digress. Before we get into the Legend of Zelda, why don't we have the Megabuck and RetroGameTreasure.com send us back in time with this week's Retro Zone game. Buck.
Let's go back in time.
That felt like Cool Tough Guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool, tough guy. We were definitely
Okay,
a
cool,
cool, tough
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yes, we were a cool, tough guy. But better known for Cool, Tough Gal, what series does Platinum Games make?
Bayonetta.
Cool.
That's
tough.
right, my
Oh,
boy.
shit. Okay.
Bayonetta, the team that came from Capcom between Shinji Mikami, Resident Evil Daddy,
Yes,
Right,
yes.
yeah.
Atsushi Inaba,
Okami.
and Hideki Kamiya, came together and in 2007 and made Platinum Games, but their first game was not Bayonetta. No. It was a game show, hack and slash, beat 'em up, stylistic as hell game for the Wii. I'm talking about Mad World.
Whoa.
Wow, dude. Wow.
What?
How about a
Holy
game
crap.
that's all in black and white, like except for the blood?
Whoa. Interesting choice.
Yes.
Googling.
I had this game.
Google. I played such little Wii. I went to college and didn't take it with me, I think, for some reason. My dorm was too small. Whoa.
But
this
you had
is
Under Siege 2, Dark Territory?
Yeah, we got to have
fair,
Dark
that's
Territory.
fair. Assumption is the mother of all
What
fucking-
year did this come up? Come out. I'm
It's
sorry.
2009, I think. Yeah, 2009. About 2 years after they came together as a team.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Very comic
Tell me a little
booky.
bit about this one.
So Mad World was set in like the environment. There was like it was a bunch of different levels in like a game show timed kind of fashion. It's a beat 'em up hack and slash. You play as a really awesome tough guy, Jack. From the box, join Jack, a renegade contestant in the world's deadliest game show, Death Watch. Only the bloodiest, most creative tactics will help keep you alive in the ultimate fight for survival.
Wow, this is extremely violent.
Yes.
I like it.
But how stylistic is it? It's like cel-shaded black and white.
It looks like Sin City. Like the
Yes,
movie
it's-
Sin City. Very cool.
What year was that? Because it's definitely like
I want to say it's right around that time. I had this game. I
Yeah.
barely remember it. I really didn't play it all that much. It was an X that had it, and I played it on their Switch or on their Wii. Wow, Switch. And yeah, this one it's really cool looking, man. Really cool looking game.
It looks like a Mike Mignola comic.
It does.
Hellboy,
Yeah, really.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something straight out of Hellboy.
Watching this guy kick a bunch of ass. First of all, the plot, I love a good post-apocalyptic you're on
Same.
a game show where
Everybody
people are
loves some
trying to
Running
kill
Man,
you.
right?
Yeah.
A la Running Man,
Running Man,
a la fucking Outlast or whatever. Not Outlast, but the one where you're killing all the gang members. But anyhow,
Oof, yeah.
the
Manhunt.
Manhunt. Thank you very much. But yeah, this one, the comic book aesthetic. The way he's killing people, I just watched him fold a guy into a trash, like a dumpster.
it's fine. Yeah,
and then he
this is fine.
closed the lid on the dumpster, and it bisected the man at his waist, and the bottom half of him fell off, and then he
Yeah.
grabbed another man and slammed him around like the Hulk until he exploded on the top half.
Sure, why not?
So that was pretty fucking cool.
Over
if
the
I
top,
do say so myself.
Over the top violence.
This is pretty badass. I cannot believe I've never even heard of this.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Great
no.
game.
When this came out,
Main
and I was
character
just
is
like,
voiced by John DiMaggio, who also did the voice of Marcus Phoenix.
Oh no shit! I didn't realize that.
Oh.
So it's got good voice acting too.
It looks like it looks like a more violent, bloody God Hand, which is obviously
And less cheesy. I've actually
Yes.
beaten God Hand, and that game is
Great
great,
game,
but
yeah.
it is very.
very Japanese
cheek.
in a Yakuza-esque way, where they're just like, we're just being ridiculous. But no, this looks dope.
Says specifically on their Wikipedia, actually, it was inspired by Frank Miller's Sin City graphic novels.
There you go.
Interesting. Makes sense.
I mean, did you really need to?
Yeah,
did I
you can
really
see
need to
it,
look that
yeah.
up?
Are there motion controls of any note in this game? Since it's for the Wii, or
not really. So, of notably, this game uses the Wiimote and the nunchuck.
Yeah.
But it doesn't use the infrared bar because the motions I believe that it does inputs of don't require like specific things on screen. They require like flicks and things like that. So it doesn't. Yeah. And
so you don't need to light the traditional Wii candles in order to get your gaming system.
Right.
I like to think of it as like a ceremony. You got to light the
Something like
Wii
that.
candle so that the camera can see.
And it also has a bloodbath challenged set of mini games that are 2-player.
Oh shit, cute.
Yeah,
Well,
cute.
if you want if you want to get your hands on a copy of Mad World via retrogametreasure.com, I'd imagine this is an M for mature Wii game, which is pretty interesting.
There's not a ton of those. That's true.
No, absolutely not. And then it seems just like it's a 3D beat 'em up, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
pretty much.
classify it as.
Yes, at the core. Yep.
100%.
Mhm.
Well, go now to www.retrogametreasure.com and solidify Mad World in your Wii collection if you haven't already, because this looks better than Link's Archer Training or whatever the fuck that game is
Crossbow
called.
training. Yeah.
Crossbow Training.
It's all right.
All right. Speaking of Link's Crossbow Training, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be discussing one of the most legendary video games of all time, I dare say. See you on the other side.
What's Jack doing out there? He's thinking on his feet and kicking ass. And were you out there, you'd drop your pants and die. Actually, I probably died before I crapped my pants. You know, when people die, they crap their pants anyway. All those dudes who are dead probably crap their pants.
Okay, we're back, and we're here to talk about Legend of Zelda. So yeah, it's birthday, so I was like, let's talk about it. I've never beat it. I certainly have played it. We had this game when I was a child. This is a perfect excuse to run through this game, and just right up top, I'm going to say that I had a fantastic time with The Legend of Zelda this week, thanks to guides, which is not how you say, like, this is not a strike against The Legend of Zelda, because upon researching like the history of Legend of Zelda, you're meant to play with the instruction manual in front of you. Literally, if you let the attraction screen roll, there's a little sprite of Link holding up a sign that says, "Look at the manual." But before we get too far ahead of ourselves in regards to that, I would like to hand the ball over to our in-game historian, the Mega Buck, so that he may begin our quest to gush about The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, baby.
Buck, take it away.
Ooh, The Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I've got a physical copy right here in my hand, and look at this lovely little pre-cut out window. It's video share time, Spotify kids and kidettes.
So this is the one that has the little bit of foam in the bottom that makes it slightly taller, right?
So all
is that
NES
correct?
games actually have that.
Okay.
The boxes are taller than the cartridges, and there is literally a foam like rectangular block at the
Right.
bottom to lift the game up to the top of the cartridge. The interesting thing with Legend of Zelda, though, was on the actual cart itself. If you look here, it has a window cut out so that you can see the gold cartridge
Right.
inside the box. This was the way that they were in the store so that you could see that, which is super duper cool.
Huh.
And
They made a
like,
big deal of marketing that, by
yes,
the way.
it was huge.
Nintendo did an incredible job, apparently, at the time in 1986 or whatever.
Take this guy out and you can see this beautiful gold cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful game, which is known for getting lots of wear, and underneath it turns black.
Underneath, it turns black.
If this gets rubbed off, which I've seen on a lot of Zeldas in my years, the cart is like literally black underneath or whatever you
Ooh,
get from
that's
behind.
Almost just as cool. Like a black cartridge is kind of.
Then it's a Tengen cart and it's illegal. No, but this story starts a little earlier. That back when they were developing the Legend of Zelda for the Famicom in Japan, they did not have enough storage space on the chips at the time. Now, again, you're talking like 1985 in Japan. Earlier than that, even they would have been developing this. And didn't come out to like 90 or 85 or 86. So the Legend of Zelda is actually a Famicom disc game in Japan. They needed the additional space on the cartridge on the disc to do the game. So
and we've
in Japan,
talked about those before. That's the system where
Yes.
you could go to the kiosks and download, basically overwrite a game that you had for another game.
I have here a replica of a disc system game because in Japan you can get these really cool keychains at the Nintendo store, and disc system games looked like, if you guys ever seen like a zip disc back in the day,
Yeah, it's a yellow
they
floppy.
looked like a big
Floppy
old
disk, yeah.
floppy disk. This is literally like a 1-to-1 scale of what they looked like.
And you were actually able to save on these, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So when we got the one in America, they had solved the problem of the space availability with the chips, but the disk system could save on that. So that is why ours had to have a save battery on top of all that, so that you could actually save your game.
This is
too.
the first cart, from what I understand, published by Nintendo that included this just little tiny watch battery inside the cart that basically always keeps a little bit of juice in a little stick of RAM that basically tracks your save.
Yep.
Which is like, yeah, so what? But it's just like, listen, man, I never thought about it in this frame of reference, but just a really quick sidebar. This game came out in Japan before Dragon Quest, okay?
Sure.
Big deal.
In other words, this game is old. And you can save it. You know what I mean? Like, this was, and not by grabbing a piece of paper and grabbing a pencil and then writing down a code and then saving that code somewhere in your room to where it
That's
doesn't
what we
get
all had to
lost
do
when your
back
mom
then.
cleans your room or whatever.
A la
Just
Metroid,
by putting the, like, in the manual, it tells you put a second controller in the port and have that controller press down and A or whatever, and you can just fucking save wherever the fuck you want and then come back to this game. Incredible.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's some other neat hardware changes that they made from the US to over here, and I don't think Mac will bring it up because it's kind of weird and random. But the whistle recorder in Japan, if you read the instruction booklet, it mentions this as well too. But there's an enemy called a Pole's Voice. It's a little jumping cat in
Got
the
these
game.
huge ears.
Yeah.
It does, and it mentions that making noise to it. I think it talks about in the instruction booklet that players could defeat the Pole's Voice with noise, but that's because in Japan the Famicom controller has a microphone built into it.
Yeah, there's an old man in the temple where you interact with them that tells you. He also gives you advice about the boss of that temple not liking sounds.
Right. Which none of that actually came over in our version because they took the microphone out of the controller.
That's fine.
Right. And so they instead that boss who is supposedly dislikes sounds will still be affected by the whistle.
Right.
But the mice guys are not, which is they're like, nope. They're honestly, you just shoot those bitches with arrows and you can just kill them in one shot.
Yep.
But yeah, really weird, interesting change. The microphone in the controller is such a strong choice.
Yeah.
Such a weird. I don't know. Call
What?
me crazy.
Nintendo
That's
makes
so
weird
random.
peripherals for
Yeah.
their consoles? Must be a
the
new
controller.
thing.
It's very on brand for them.
Right.
Honestly. That's really cool.
Very, very much so.
So I guess to just dovetail from the idea of it having the save like capacity in it, we can just go right into one. Just like, here's my huge hot take: Mario should not be the the face of Nintendo.
Like the iconic sort of
No.
character that people. Yeah, right.
It should be Link. It should be Link, bro. So this is why I think that, and it's because my thesis statement is that the Legend of Zelda codified console gaming, like, I want to say indefinitely, just like so succinctly, I suppose.
I see what you
So
mean,
it's like, all right, Mario comes out before it, and it does basically like the compliments that it gets from people is like, it's like having an arcade in your house. And it's like, okay, that's a cool, like, because it's a, you know, you're never confused about where to go in Mario. You're usually just going from left to right. You collect coins for points. You're still in that. Like, this is a game at home, and yet we're still scoring points. Like, who am I up against? Like, who else am I playing with? This is at my house. Like,
But even
or
like the
yourself.
first Mega Man still had points in it because there was
Just all this carryover stuff from being an arcade machine. You know what I mean? It's not really. And then The Legend of Zelda is meant to be like your game. You literally name yourself at the beginning of the game. Again, this is like before Dragon Quest, before Final Fantasy.
It's
So
an
you're
adventure.
not some guy who's been foisted upon you.
Yeah.
It says like, who are you? So that was a big first
That
in
stems
gaming.
from the fact that, yes, this is another Shigeru Miyamoto game. Miyamoto
Yes,
had these
yeah.
caves near the village that he lived in when he was
Oh,
a
yeah, I've
kid.
heard this.
And he
Everyone knows
explored-
this story,
He
yeah.
explored those caves, and that's what he created. But it's the same. He wanted to
great
create
story,
the
though.
same parallel. In today's world, okay, good storyteller can do that. Go back to the early 80s and say, I want to
Right.
convey that message in digital format to children. Genius.
You know,
Fucking genius.
before this, like the only other kind of like adventure game that I could think of that really felt like an adventure would have been Adventure.
I was
like
gonna say
for the
felt
Atari, yeah.
like.
Yeah. Like, but like this is, it really truly does feel like an adventure. Like I've said this many times, I can't help but compare Zelda to Dark Souls. They both, in a lot of ways, feel truly like an adventure. The esoteric
Yes.
nature of them, all the secrets. Like I was talking to Mac earlier about that. Well, I mean, we'll get to the playthroughs. in a minute, but yeah.
There's other game. There's like Ultima, I believe,
Yeah.
exists before Zelda.
yeah.
That's an adventure game.
the PC
Here's
version,
the
no?
difference. There were adventure games that had decent graphics. Fucking what are they? Mid graphics, right? But none of them were this. None of them were action RPGs.
Right.
Because I cannot, upon doing my research and like, it's just like, I cannot stress enough how mind fucking blowing it was to push a rock by walking up and pushing it.
Yeah.
Or to light something on fire by just simply lighting it on fire. Not
It's a tree and it actually burns. Yeah.
not typing the word fire into a box, not
Fair.
searching through a menu and then clicking fire and then clicking use. You press a button, that's your sort of companion button, and you just make fire. And then the fire just interacts with the world
Again,
in front of you in real
you
time.
have to put yourself back in that time period for
Right.
it to run as well as it did. That was a PC thing, and PCs were a extremely
Yes.
niche audience back then.
Exactly. And so here comes Nintendo with a game that finally says, like, here you go.
Yeah,
Here's
here's
a
an
game.
adventure
Here's your fucking console game.
Yeah.
Arcade is now a separate thing. This is now this. You got this far, and now you got to go to bed. Just real quick save, bing bong, pick it up tomorrow, and it'll just be here waiting for you, bro. It's a game that's meant to be played over so much time that it just so intrinsically ties itself with like at home. That's where you have time. You know what I mean? You go to an arcade for an hour, 2 hours, something like this. You don't have. That's not enough fucking time to get
What?
into
All
Zelda.
day Saturday. I've got $20 in quarters.
This game. You know, I told Raph last week, not to throw him under the bus here. I said
Yeah.
we're gonna do Legend of Zelda next week, so start playing now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and he was just like, yeah, I'll just play in the evenings and I'll probably
Yeah.
get da-da-da-da. And we get to a week later and he was like, I beat 2 dungeons. And I
Yeah.
was just like, see, I told
dude.
you it was going to take long.
Oh, it's a lot
you
of
know,
game.
I expected to get through this like relatively quickly, and you know, I kind of wanted to test myself too because I knew that Mac was playing with a guide, so I was like, let me compare and play it without a guide and see how far I can get. And yes, 2 dungeons. That's really about it. I was trying to find the 3rd dungeon, got about at that far.
So
Just finding the dungeons is
Mario
the challenge. Yeah.
is like lauded for blowing people's minds because it's got like, what is it, like 24 levels or something like this altogether.
What, the
Got a
original
bunch
Mario?
of levels.
This
Yeah,
one
the
has,
Eight
like,
original.
what,
worlds. 8
Something
worlds,
like
and
that?
each one has like 3 levels within.
Right,
each,
yeah.
The first Mario.
So yeah, give or take. So people like, holy shit. And they did it on this small cart by doing, if you know Mario, they did a bunch of like origami programming, honestly, to make the game bigger than it could be, like, which is incredible. But I'll have you know, guess what? They did the same thing with this fucking game,
Yes.
but like on steroids. There are 600 different screens in this game if you add the dungeons and the open world.
That's a lot.
600
Yeah.
different screens, man.
wild.
And it's just like, so Mario's 24 levels are continuously scrolling. So it's like, well, if you divided those up into screens, it might be that. It's like, yes, but they're not divided up into screens.
Yeah.
And the thing is with the Legend of Zelda screen is, as Raph referred to earlier, bro, there is a secret in like
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah.
Right.
I was blown away when I played this game with the guide at just like a sentiment that Raph echoed earlier here before we started recording, which is
Yeah.
just like, I didn't realize how much.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Just
I
in
didn't
the
know how
overworld.
much is in this game. Just immediately, just
Yeah.
all over the place, just waiting for you. When I got done with it, I really understood when people compare it to Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
I was just like, oh yeah, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
I never really put it together, but dude, this game is just
Yeah.
filled
The
to the
wide-
brim with this sort of stuff. And it's, people might try to complain because, okay, so I'm playing with this guide, and by the way I did it is my girlfriend sat next to me
Cool.
and read the guide to me step
That's
by
cool.
step, so I didn't have
Yeah.
to like stop playing to
Right.
read.
I like that.
Dude, amazing. It
Yeah.
was so much fun for me and her. She literally, we got done with it and she goes, let's do Zelda 2. And I was just like, oh my God,
Nope.
yes. No, but I was just like, because I want to beat it, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
impossible without a guide.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I'm doing this research, and those big box Legend of Zeldas came with like an extensive pamphlet. More specifically, the one in Japan for the disc system had a really, really flushed out pamphlet for the players, and like it really gives you a lot. I know Buck echoes this all the time, like read your manual or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
It's a retro game, yeah.
This one
Hard to
just really, I can't help but say, if you want to play through this game nowadays, just do it with at least some sort of assistance, because it
shame.
really isn't meant to be
Yeah.
fully drowned in, because I mean you can, but it would just there. Okay, so you might play this game and go, hey, it's crazy. How would I ever know to burn the third bush from the right on like the but good. There's all these random bushes and they all look the same and there's no demarcation about which one I should burn. But I like that sense of uniqueness in the same way that I like it in the Souls games, like Raph said.
Yeah.
Because Souls games will do the same thing. You'll have an invisible wall that has no marcations that it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
The joy comes not from being like, I noticed a crack in the wall. It's from just finding out that it's there.
Yeah.
Whatever means you do it, via
rolled
it
by
online.
accident into
Because
it. Yeah.
I'll tell you this, I played with a guide, and the guide has you do some stuff at the beginning of the game to make the back half of the game before you start tackling dungeons like easier. Like you get a bunch of like coin spots that are hidden and extra heart tokens that are kind of easy to access at the beginning of this open world game from 1987. Where you can just go wherever the fuck you want right from the beginning of the game in 1987.
Mind-blowing.
And then I'm like, okay, let's go start tackling the dungeons. And then I accidentally touched one of those statues that comes to life on the screen that I was on.
Scared the shit out of
And
me.
no, I knew that already happened, and I just touched him by accident because the controls are a little finicky in this game. He's very responsive. And I accidentally touched his statue, and when he moved, there was a staircase
stairs.
underneath him.
Yes.
And I didn't know it was going to be there because it wasn't part of the guide. And I went, oh my God, whoa. And I looked at Letitia, and I was like, did you see that? Did you see that? I touched the thing, and the guy moved, and I didn't know that. Like,
I
it
felt
was,
that one by accident
it was
too,
so
the same
cool
way.
that I got the experience of running with the guide, but then also getting the moment that I'm trying to express, where in which it's just like, how would you know to do that? You wouldn't. But when you play it, you will accidentally do stuff, right?
When this game came out, that happened on the playground. You either had
Right.
Nintendo Power,
Yeah,
and you were
right,
going through Nintendo Power, and you're doing, and the first Zelda was like post and pre Nintendo
Pre.
Power.
They had their
Zelda
own,
2 was like the second or third issue, I think.
they had this thing called like the Fun Club, the Nintendo Fun
Yeah,
Club.
you could get
and it
stuff
was
mailed in.
basically the progenitor of Nintendo Nintendo Power. Is just like, we'll help you with Zelda if you need help. You can write us a letter.
So here's
or
the thing,
whatever.
right? By like 1990, 89, everyone had Nintendo Power. Everybody knew it was going on. When the first Zelda came out, not everybody had it. So
No.
a lot of that, you heard it on the playground. Like, did you know that? You know the one screen where it's got
Right.
the 4 different guys and knights, and if you touch one, they move. If you touch the top left one, there's a staircase underneath. Whoa, no way. Yeah, my uncle works in Nintendo. He told me that.
My uncle was in Nintendo. You know,
That's,
it's wild because I was thinking about this. You know, like I wouldn't have had this experience because obviously I didn't. This game came out much before before I was born. But for us, like that experience would have been like Pokemon. You know, talking about Pokemon with my friends at school and like, hey, did you guys know that if you go up and down on the beach on whatever, you can find Missigno or
Sure.
whatever. Yeah,
Yes.
that kind of shit. That's
Exactly
so
the same
cool
thing.
though. Like I just never got to experience that. The heyday of
The
adventure gaming.
but yeah, there's no this game doesn't have puzzles. It has a world that you must unfold because like later Zelda games, Zelda's Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Zelda has become synonymous with like block pushing, and it'll be like, oh, there's a slot here, and you push the block on, and it sinks in, and now it's like pervasive in Zelda. There is none of that in this game. There are moments where you have to push a block after defeating all the enemies in the room just to get to access to the stairs, but that's not a puzzle. That's just something that you have to know by experimenting and playing with the game. Like, it's beautiful. It's an incredible feat of design. I don't know. And I'll tell you this, the design is boosted up to 100 when it comes to the overall aesthetic of this game with Koji Kondo's soundtrack. It is fucking epic. It is incredible. I didn't realize I saw online somewhere that they had like a piece of classical music or something like as the original theme, and right before they were going to publish the game, they realized that the rights to this song didn't expire. Like they were off by like 6 months or something. Like they had
hadn't
to
quite
ask.
been in public domain, right?
You're right. It was like just a couple. It was like something with Japanese IP laws different than ours. Anyhow, so they had to get Koji Kondo to write a new theme in like 48 hours.
He did all right.
Yeah, right.
And they get it. They speed run. Dum 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 dum. And if you go and listen to the Famicom Disk System one, it has an extra
Sound
channel in it, and it sounds even better. I mean, when I walked into Ganon's castle and then realized that it had different boss music, I got goosebumps. Like I was just like, dude, the aesthetic of this game is just so adventurous.
It's
you know what's
truly an adventure,
so funny is that after, like I said, Tish wanted to beat all the Zeldas this way, and so I loaded up the SNES emulator on Nintendo, and I said, yeah, we got to go through this one. And I started it up, and I said, look at this, and she goes, I don't like the way this one looks. And I was just like, whoa, really interesting. And she was like, I like the way the other one looked. And instead of just being a poo-pooer like you're doing right now, I tried to put myself in the shoes of another person.
It's like my favorite Zelda game.
I know, but just like, why would this person say that, right?
Okay.
And so my thought process,
I kind of understand.
I do understand as well. I think that the simplicity
Right.
in the original Legend of Zelda, like the fact that it looks like a video game. It looks like, you know how UFO 50 attempts to be simulacrums of video games in air quotes? This is video game. So like when Tish is playing, she's like, it's cute, we're playing a video game. But then it's like the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past is so good that it becomes like a different artifact, I guess. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
It's too detailed.
This is Adventure Game the game, and then this is The Legend of Zelda. Like you start going into like the Super NES one, and it has like this very specific style artistically. Like it looks like a Zelda game, but this one was when
It's
they were
because Link's
still
hair is pink, isn't it?
right. Yeah, right.
Because his hair is pink.
They were still figuring out the way that an adventure game works, the way that it looks, and it almost, it's so, I don't want to say generic, but it's so.
It's not
Your
generic. It's the less
imagination
is
has to fill everything.
the
in
less is
almost.
more.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Your imagination has to fill in the gaps.
Right. And I love
therefore it ends up looking better because it takes place in your mind. You know what I mean? Like
This
art,
comes from years
bro.
of playing Dwarf Fortress, guys. Like, I used to play fucking Dwarf Fortress, and it's just fucking no graphics, and I just use my imagination all day. I love that kind of shit.
It's
amazing.
yeah, I love it. Anyhow, so my run through, the game, you can tackle the dungeons in any order. I tried to do them in a suggested order. There is, like we said, they're figuring out how this even works, right? And so if no matter pretty much what order you go into, there's weird spikes in difficulty at strange moments. Like it's just like they just didn't know, you know what I mean? But they did a really good job. Digress. They tried to use this like color system to let you know when enemies were getting harder. Like you'll see different versions of the same enemy. Some of them are red, some of them are blue. The blue ones are going to be harder. So when you walk into a screen, you can be like, nope.
You
and
at
then
least
turn
know
around.
they're different, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, different. Don't know about them. Why is he different? Gotta go.
Right. The Lionels, I didn't realize Lionels were in this game. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
The centaurs,
From
yeah.
Breath of the Wild. And they will fucking kill you immediately if you wander into the mountains in the without
That's
knowing.
actually something that stood out to me with this game. Like, I kind of looked at like how many monsters carried over into the modern day.
So
Like, I have like a
many.
whole
Like,
list:
all
the
of them.
Leavers, Lionels, Moblins, Octoroks, Dodongos, Gomas,
Gleeok.
Tektites, Likes, Stalfos, Wallmasters, and fucking Zoras that look really fucking weird in this game.
Really
Are
fucking
you doing
weird.
the Zelda rap right now?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
The original commercial for this game had the nerdy kid schooling the cool kid about it, and he's like Octoroks, Tektites.
It's true.
It's going on right
They
now.
did a
This is so
fuckload of really weird There's another one that's like a black and white, and it's a guy like, Zelda, ooh, that did. And he's like doing like performative dance.
He's just like
You
yelling.
remember that
yeah.
one? Yeah. It's so they did. The Nintendo of America did like a really good job. If you go ask, if you look in the annals of history, it was like no. These commercials weren't the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life. They were funny.
Yeah.
But they really pushed this game really hard, and this game ended up being a huge success. And ironically, that was part of it. Anyhow, so I couldn't agree more with the assessment of this game as Dark Souls. When I'm doing the combat in some of these dungeons, specifically, I believe it was the Demon Dungeon. It's the one with all the whiz robes in it. I have a note here in my notes. Let me see if I can read this right. Oh, it says, fuck whiz robes. Fuck them to hell? Interesting.
The spelling and grammar needs work, but
They, the most annoying. Did you know what I'm talking about, Raph? Did you get to that part? No, right?
I don't think I got to the Wiz Robes.
I mean,
no.
they're Wiz
I've
Robes.
seen them because I looked at all the
Golly.
different enemies in this game, but I did watch a playthrough to get to like the
you don't
end,
hate the
so,
likes? Did they eat your shield at all?
God,
Oh my
yes.
God,
And
the
in the
like-likes.
Demon
I
Dungeon, you'll
know
run into
about
a room
like-likes.
that's got 3 likes in it, 4 whiz robes, and 2 nut knights or whatever the fuck they're
And a
called.
partridge in a
The
pear.
dark
And
nuts.
it's just dark nuts. Thank you.
Yeah.
These knight
Same deal.
characters who you can only attack from the sides and the back. And so,
I hate those things. So
in
much.
order to stab in a certain direction, you have to press that
You can bomb
direction,
them too, though,
obviously,
right?
which will cause. What's up?
You can bomb them as well.
Yeah, you can bomb them, but
I
they're
don't
kind of
remember
hard
if
to bomb.
bombs really worked on them. Probably.
They
Either
send
which
them
way,
flying.
they're a pain in
Sorry.
the butt. But yeah, the attacking in this game, obviously, if you're going to attack in a direction, you have to face that direction. And in order to do so, Link is going to end up moving a centimeter in that direction. So there's a lot of doubling back to turn around type shit. And there was a moment in that fucking when I was in that demon dungeon where I was like, Tish is like, all right, do this. And there were some rooms where I'd be like, she's like, do this. I'd be like, all right, I did it. All right, I did it. All right. Like my gamer instincts were like killing me. Then there were some rooms where I was just like, all right, hold on. Fuck, shit. Fuck, shit. Oh, God damn it. Oh, God, this is like Dark Souls. I was like, this is fucking rough. Okay, hold on. She's like, have you done it yet? I was like, no, I'm fighting these wizards. They're fucking hard.
I just hear them struggle and everything from my room.
It
It's
was
so
really
funny.
good.
Love it.
But thankfully the game was much easier than I assume it could be because I got all like the powered up swords.
Yeah, the
I
two.
got the candle with the unlimited uses per screen. Like by getting all the items,
Yeah.
I really cannot like this playthrough made me be like, damn, this is a good RPG because I never got far enough before. I never got enough items and found enough things before. I didn't realize how many the it's a secret to everyone or whatever. There are so many of those.
Oh, the rooms, yeah.
Holy
like the old man
shit.
and the shopkeep and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like, I was like, there's like this a room with 100 rupees in it, just sitting right here, and I just never knew like to go in and the system of enemies drop rupees, which gives you the incentive to clear them so that you can progress with the game. So it's not like Mario where the enemies are just in your way. Like they're part of the ecosystem of the progress. Like you don't level up by killing them, but they may drop bombs that you can use to find hidden areas, or money that you can use to buy bombs, or a heart container or a potion or what have you. The gameplay loop is just, I don't know. I am blown away. I cannot express enough how pleased I was to do this playthrough.
That's cool.
The Legend of Zelda.
What do you think of the very oddly cryptic dialogue in this game? My favorite, there's one in particular that I was like, it's you find this guy and he's like, got a piece of paper and he's like, give this to the old lady. And that's all he says. And then you got to find the other. Yeah.
That one is, I mean, there is an old woman
Yes,
in the cave, and she, if you walk in, she does nothing.
Yeah,
which
right.
is equally as cryptic because
Right.
you're just like, huh?
What the fuck?
But
Yeah.
it's no like stranger to me than any of the things that anyone says in any FromSoft game.
True. Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
why so much of Dark
and no
Souls,
one
it's
blinks
crazy.
an eye when a guy's just like, "Oh, Ashen One, the fate of the Darkfeld lies in the bell of the Grimgrom." And you're just like, that's a clue of something? What is that? I don't know. Like, at least in The Legend of Zelda, if there are ones that are funky, it's because of just like translation from another language. You know what I mean? Like, from what I understand, the Japanese text in this game is in its Famicom disk system version is unique because it uses the symbols that Japanese people use when they're trying to imitate English letters. Which one are those, Buck?
Katakana.
Is that katakana? So instead of
Anything foreign
hiragana,
is
which is like the
katakana.
formal Japanese alphabet, they saved memory, I believe, by using this other alphabet that they had somehow.
They're pretty much
Which
identical. I mean, if you
only-
leave out kanji, which happens on a lot of Famicom games, they do. Plus they knew children were playing them, and you don't learn I mean, you have to learn like 2,000 kanji to graduate high school in Japan.
Holy God.
So 6-year-old children, know as much kanji as I do. And so they wouldn't be able to read the whole game if you threw that at them. That's why sometimes when you see advertisements for things, there's little symbols above the kanji that's helping children and people that can't read that to read what that symbol is.
So I don't think that did the translation team any favors. So if there are any ones that are worded strangely, it's
You
probably
must
because
defeat Shenlong to stand a chance kind of things.
Yeah.
precisely.
Yeah.
There's just some sort of direct
Like a secret lies
translation
on the
error that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, the defeating Ganon, the bosses in this game don't feel like so climactic. I don't know how to explain it. Some of them are pretty easily defeated. Ganon himself, you can pretty much just stand with your back to a wall and stab forward until he warps in front of you, and then when you do so,
funny.
you shoot him with the silver arrow. But that's not where the satisfaction, I think, lies in the game. I think the satisfaction is learning that when he turns brown, you shoot him with the arrow that you must find in his dungeon. And you just don't know that, again, just like how you don't know there's an invisible wall there in Dark Souls unless you find out.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's a different kind of club. It's not the club of I'm so smart. It's the club of I'm in this world.
Yeah.
I
can
It's
immerse
because you
myself more deeply.
It's
Right.
because you defeated Aquamentus, and he has such a cool
That's a
ancient
great name.
monster
Yeah, it is,
name.
Yeah.
I felled Goma.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much all my thoughts on The Legend of Zelda. Raph, your closing thoughts on The Legend of Zelda?
Just one line that I have in my notes here, and it's that The Legend of Zelda explains nothing and is ultimately all the better for it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You say it's funny because and I love this when we get to do this because It's a completely different perspective. That instruction manual explained a shitload.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
the instruction manual, not the
Yeah.
game, but the instruction manual is a necessity to playing the game.
Part of the beauty is that you
which is
still
kinda
played it
cool,
and you
you
still enjoyed it, even though you didn't have that manual and you didn't have the maps. You know,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time lost, and I didn't care. Like, I was having a great time just kind of like exploring the world. You know, it was cool.
even with that stuff, I had friends who Ben's dad took graph paper
Yeah.
and replicated the maps on graph paper for the dungeons so that you could know where items were and whatnot too. Don't even get me started on the second quest.
I believe the North America. Yeah. Oh my gosh! If you beat the game and then start again, you get a new world with different items
shuffled
and
up.
different drops. Everything's all shuffled up.
Yeah,
You
I
can
heard
also
if you change
jump.
your name to Zelda, you get the second quest line.
If you jump, if you change your name to Zelda, you can jump right to the second quest.
Oh, I see.
I didn't know about that, and then when you beat the game, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
and then I
press
googled
start to
it, and I was
begin
like,
the second
"Whoa,
quest."
shit! What? There's a whole nother one in there. This is
we fit
incredible.
more on this thing.
This is again,
Incredible.
Zelda and Link should be the mascots of the Nintendo company.
I mean,
I
feel like now there's just as many, if not more, people that enjoy the Zelda series more than they do the Mario games.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Mario games are good, and I enjoy them still too, but they almost have gone more the route of the kid. And
Yeah.
I read something the other day that said the average Final Fantasy fan is like 42 years old. And for like Zelda, probably a little younger than that, but it's like the average Zelda fan is probably like in his mid-30s or later, whereas Mario, you can go all the way back, and even the littlest kids will play.
right.
I think the biggest...
Yeah, Mario games have gotten the capacity to catch up because of where game design has gotten to now.
Yeah.
But as far as I don't know, like I said, kicking like the consoles are dead at the point when Nintendo is coming out. Atari boofed everything, so they're trying to win back the love of people playing video games at home.
Yeah, because
And I
Nintendo's got
just
a lot of time and money invested in it now.
Right.
Circa
And
1985.
it's one thing to say this game feels like an arcade at home, and another thing to say this game feels like a game that I could only play at home. Zelda feels like home.
I think more than anything else, the music in this game will stick with me forever. The music for Legend of Zelda. I mean, look at modern Zelda games, and there's great music, and there's the Gorons and some of these other music that became really famous in like Ocarina of Time. But there are a staple like 2 or 3 tracks in Zelda that will forever be just updated and rearranged in like every future Zelda. We get a Zelda movie in a year and a half, 2 years.
Right.
And it's going to have the freaking theme, and it's probably going to have some type of dungeon or Zelda, it's going to be in there.
Yeah. An incredible feat of gaming history. If you haven't played The Legend of Zelda, do yourself a favor. Pull a guide up. Crank that bad boy. You can beat it in a day if you have the guide. And you'll get to the end and be like, I'm glad I did that. That felt good. Cool. That is enough for The Legend of Zelda for today. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to do our What Else You Got and head on out of here. See you on the other side.
Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System. It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad. Those creatures from Ganon are pretty bad. Octorok's Tech-Tyke's levers, too. But with your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah, get Zelda.
Awesome.
Intense.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Your parents help you hook it up. The Legend of Zelda sold separately.
Okay, gentlemen, we are in the last leg of our episode. Welcome to the What Else You Got section of our show, where we bring anything to the table, be it video game or otherwise. This week, I have been playing a video game, but I did just want to mention that I have gotten to the last episode of Berserk, the Golden Age arc. The show whoops ass, dude. For reasons that I didn't understand, like because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen the original Berserk. I never read the comics.
I've got it on Blu-ray if you want to borrow
My
it.
basically only exposure to it is the Dreamcast game that came out. Yeah, that's right,
Whoa,
baby.
dude.
There was
It's
a
a good game,
Dreamcast
though.
game, and I played that shit.
Yeah, Berserk is like the only manga I've ever read, like most of the way through.
Wow.
And
Yeah, good chunk of it.
most of what people glean from that show, at least from my exposure, is just like as a person who has just heard about it,
Yeah.
is the violence. Like I remember the game is a beat 'em up. And it's mostly just you like fucking up demons.
Sounds like Berserk.
And the show is called Berserk. And, you know, he's got a
really
giant sword. And so, like I said, everyone's big takeaway, what I thought the show was going to be was just like, yeah, I heard the show's got a lot of violence in it. No. Well, it does. Sorry. It does have a lot of violence in it. But the show has got a lot of emotional baggage in it that I was not expecting.
It's
Good
about
stuff.
trauma.
That's a
It's a-
Berserk
yes,
thing.
it's
Yeah.
about trauma.
It's about how people deal with trauma and how they come out of trauma.
Right. And yeah, I really wasn't. I was trying to think, oh, dang it. I had a comparison in my head just a moment ago, and now I've lost it when it comes to like how much emotional dumping there is in the show. But I did want to say, like I wrote in my notes, it's like if Game of Thrones was just about one guy. Like the level of political intrigue and just like the interplay in relationships. Because obviously, you know, you could argue that Jon Snow is the main character of Game of Thrones by the end of the show. But, you know, that's like an ensemble show. There's like 30 characters in it. You know what I mean? In Berserk, there's really only like 3 main characters. It's him, her, and Griffin or whatever. But like all of the political intrigue of a medieval fantasy world is in there. And by that, I mean just like the idea that anyone could die at any time if someone's like in a bad mood. Like you could just like, if some person has sex with the wrong person, they might just cut all the tendons in your body and cut your tongue out and then dip you in boiling water and leave you to rot in a dungeon. And you're just sitting there hoping that your friends come to save you. And then when your friends do come to save you, when they actually get a look at your horribly disfigured body, they're in such shock that they don't even know like how to live because
That's
you were
really
basically
specific, and it actually happens.
right.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. I didn't quite understand what the relationship between Griffith and everyone else was going to be.
Yeah.
And it basically takes a metaphor of like Alexander the Great or like what's I can't remember the philosopher, but the idea of capital G great men, like dudes that changed the course of history, and like what kind of man you must be in order to be so influential that you could get 3/4 of the world underneath your control or
And
whatever.
What would you be willing to do?
What would you be willing to do, and how charismatic you'd have to be, and how devoted or whatever, and then the people that surround that person, because the show is about the main character knows that guy, and it's like his star shines so bright that everyone around him has to squint is the best like poem that I could use to summarize the plot of Berserk. Like they all love him, but they all love Griffith, I should say, but he's like unattainable. He's like a god to them. So like I said, they get to the end of the show and they're just like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like their fucking hero has been dismembered basically in front of them and he's still alive. And they're just like, what the fuck are we going to do? So yeah, really good show. Watch it.
Apocalypse has the eclipse happened yet?
No, I'm on the last episode in which this is going to take place and then fantasy shit happens where it's just like, now, instead of fighting bands of dudes that are just like having some fucked up king be like, kill them, now like actual demons and skeleton monsters. Like there was a fucking skull-faced knight that like rode up to Guts in the last episode like, shit's about to pop off. And then he just like rode away. And he was like, what the fuck was that? But I also played a video game, more importantly, because after all, this is a video game show. I played a game called hold on, sorry, let me get this name correctly. Back to Dawn, not Return to Dawn. Back to Dawn, developed by Metalhead Games and published by Spiral Up. It's on Game Pass. It's an indie game. It's what if Stardew Valley took place in jail, which is pretty cool. Okay. You play as a bunch of anthropomorphic animals. So in Stardew Valley, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't remember who anybody was. But in this game, I definitely remember this guy because he's a hippopotamus, and that's hard to forget. You know what I mean? Like, it's
not even my wife.
But yeah, it's kind of like Persona, where it's got a day timed system, and the time passes after you choose to do something. But besides that, it's just a life sim in jail. You play as like a reporter who's been framed by the mob because you were like doing a story on him. That's who you play as at first. But you can also go back and play as a Black Panther who is an undercover cop in jail. Both pretty fucking cool storylines to me. But yeah, I don't know. I love strategy games, and I love Stardew Valley. At the beginning of this show, when I was playing it, I was fucking gushing the hell out of it because I love managing my time virtually, not in real life. But in this game, it's like playing one of those life sims, but with the bumpers on, like as in like the bowling bumpers, because you're in jail. So like your time is already like. You wake up at 7, period, bitch. And then you do whatever you want until 11 o'clock. And then from 11 to 12, you eat lunch in the cafeteria. And you can only get to the stuff in the cafeteria at that time. And then from 12 to 5, You're in the yard. And there's stuff in the yard that you can only access at that time. And then after the yard, you got to go back to the main building. And then you're in your cell from this time to that time. Rinse and repeat. But you get access to those other areas via fucking Andy Dufresne style shit. Like you suck up to a guard and then he gives you access to working on the roof. Gaining access to working on the roof lets you sneak into the cafeteria if you can distract the guard on the roof, which you do by blankety blah 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 blah.
Matt,
blah,
please
blah.
don't get arrested just so you can get better time management.
Please
don't go to jail.
Oh, come on. I would join the army, obviously. No, but yeah, it's I ended up playing like in the span of 2 days. I think I played 12 hours of this game.
Wow.
It was
That's
one of
where
those
you've been.
ones where you sit down and start playing it, and then you fucking blink, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck time is it? I gotta make dinner. What is happening? Where am I going? It's
I gotta make
crazy."
yesterday's dinner.
But yeah, really, really good game. If you got Game Pass, it's on there. I think it's on Steam, and it's like an indie game, so it's like $25 or something like this. Back to Dawn, developed by Metalhead Games. Buck, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
Well, I wanted to watch some more, like off one of the Gundam series that. Hold on.
What's up?
Okay, we got. Sorry, I know it's in the middle of the podcast, but I got Mailman's here, and I got a big out package just going
you're
out
good.
for
Yeah,
retro.
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be right back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. You think it's part of his what else he got? Like
Something that he got in the mail.
I guess, yeah. I
I
don't know.
guess it could be. I
planning
hope.
on it, like
Some limited run thing that
right. Yeah.
comes 2 years after you order it or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Comes 2 years after you order it.
What the?
What the fuck? Holy
my
shit!
God.
Wait a minute!
Holy fuck.
Wait a minute! No way! No way!
Oh my god! Oh my
Oh
god!
my
Oh my god!
God!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's him! Oh my
That's-
god! It's him! Hold
that's-
on! Hold on!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Mom! Yes! No, he's here! He's here! Yes!
Holy
I
shit.
can't talk to you, Mom. Bye!
Holy shit!
Hey,
Buck is gonna be
y'all.
so mad he missed this. Oh my god, that's Sean Night Rain.
It's me,
shit, it's
John
John Night
Nightrain. How y'all night farers doing out there, huh?
John Night Rain, you're only the most rootinest, tootinest Night Rain player in all history. What the heck are you doing here?
Well,
The other
I'm
night
here.
farers aren't gonna believe this.
I hear because some of y'all tarnished needed some help out there in Night Rain land.
Whoa.
If you want to be like me, John Nightrain, then you gotta follow these here tips. Raph, I heard you was having some problem with a little old fella called Libra.
Oh yeah, no, that
Oh,
bastard.
he's so mean.
I'm here to give you some tips this week. If y'all tarnished boys and girls want to purge the ever dark of their curse, follow these simple instructions. This week,
Bam.
I've
This
got
is
tips.
incredible. We're getting tips from John Night Rain.
You want to send that pesky varmint Libra on the old dusty trail?
Uh-huh.
Now here's what you gotta do, Raph. He's got a lot of darn old things going on, so focus on these tips. Now our old boy Libra's got a lot of nasty tricks, and there's just a few I want you to focus on. When he's summoning those there condemned, he looks like he's ripe for the picking. Just sitting there all doing nothing, having his lunch, drinking a cerveza.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled, because he gets a big old buff like rawhide leather, and it's harder to stagger him than old Bessie back on the homestead.
Holy crap!
What should
John,
we
thank
do,
you.
John?
What do I do there? Yeah.
Save your ults here, Nightfarers. Just
Right.
use some of your best abilities. Then once them condemned come out, you gonna kill those copies of your friends? They drop old hunks of gold bigger than Guinevere's bazongas.
Whoa, that's amazing, John Nightrain. Literally the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Is there anything else I need to know about Libra? That's amazing. That's amazing. So,
You broke
besides
so
that,
hard you done got into brokens.
what else do we need to do? Is there any other tips, John?
Well, see, he's gonna drop them big old gold chunks. Not only do they reduce your madness like the other ones do, but they also give you back vitality and some small buffs, so save them for when you really need it during the fight.
Is that what separates the Everdark fight with Libra from the regular fight with Libra, Mr. John Nightrain?
No, there's about 30 different crazy wahoozamits that he does that makes it a crazier fight than normal mean old Libra man.
Oh no! What's your second tip? Or was that your second tip?
That was all the tips I got for you today. Remember, I'm John Nightrain. There's a little Nightrain in all of us. Bye-bye.
Wow! John Nightrain! Oh my god, dude, I'm crying, literally, because I'm so... Look at him go. Oh, he's got a horse. Oh my god, the horse is made of bones. That's amazing. It's like dark. Oh my god, Buck. Oh my god, dude, you've got to be fucking
You
kidding
gotta
me.
tell me
What
that
I
you
missed?
saw him on the way out.
Dude,
like you didn't
what
see him
the
at least.
fuck?
Saw what?
John Nightrain,
Shut up.
obviously.
John fucking Nightrain was
No
here,
way.
man.
You just missed it. Literally,
Why is my desk standing up?
you went out to get the package from the mailman, and when you went out, John Nightrain, the world's most rootinest, tootinest, roughest, toughest Nightrain player, was here, and he
He is.
gave us
Really?
tips on how to beat the Everdark Libra.
Oh, I still need to beat him too. Can I watch it back? Can I watch it back? And I
I
give the
tell
tips
you
to
what.
He glowing. He was like glowing.
I had an orgasm.
Yeah.
You mean a joygasm?
And I'm definitely going to use his tips and tricks when I go to play my run through in an hour, probably. Right after this.
Share the tips with me.
All right, Raph. If you're, besides meeting John Nightrain, what else have you got for us this week?
I don't know if I can top that, but I did order something. Holy shit! I did order something from.
I'm still recovering. Sorry, I don't
yeah,
want to
I'm
be too
trying to
meta with
get
it.
them,
I'm
yeah.
still recovering from how funny
I
that
can't
was.
even handle what the fuck just happened.
Oh my God.
So I ordered something. I want to say like almost a year ago now from Limited Run Games, and it
I was
finally
about to make a
came
joke
in.
about limited run games, but
Yeah.
you did it for us.
It's funny because it actually it was supposed to come in on Monday, and it just so happened to come in like yesterday, which is really cool because it worked for this. But I ordered the Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Edition, and it comes in
Cool.
this nice looking Sega box, and it brings the soundtrack in a long box as well as the game itself.
Cool.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize that the crystal. You showed me the box, and I was like, all right.
I
didn't
opened
realize-
it up afterwards, and yeah, it actually comes with the jewel case for the soundtrack and everything. It has the game in there, which I haven't opened up yet. It's the PS4 one. Kick ass. I'm really excited about that one. The other thing, it was a YouTube channel. So I found this guy called Daryl Talks Games, and he does various like video essays on video games. And I found one in particular that I thought was kind of cool. All this talk about Dark Souls and Nightrain and whatnot. In particular, I'm gonna post it in our chat there. The psychology of Souls games. It's called How Souls Games Save You. And it's about the very well documented phenomenon of people getting pulled out of suicidal depression by Dark Souls.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty fascinating. I know, right? Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, holy crap.
Interesting.
A lot of people have talked about how there's a phrase that gets thrown around with Dark Souls and depression, and it's "Don't you dare go hollow," which is almost hearing that makes me want to tear up. Like it's
Yeah, dude.
yeah, right, yeah. In Dark Souls, if one of the undead, if they go hollow, that means that they've given up, I guess.
It's me right now because I missed John Nightrain.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But yeah, it's a cool little video. The guy goes pretty in depth. He does a bunch of other games, which is pretty interesting. He's got a bunch of really cool videos. So definitely go check that out. I just posted the video on there. Maybe it's like 20 or 30 minutes long. It's pretty interesting. The other thing for me is I finished Executor's Remembrance, so I only have 2 more remembrances left, and I gotta say, Executors is probably my favorite. Like that ending.
Is it Executor?
I have no idea. Nobody knows.
Because I feel like
nobody knows.
Executor is the Pokemon.
I've heard Executor or Executor or Executor. I've heard every variation.
It's definitely not Executor because it's missing a letter.
Right. Yeah.
Is
exactly.
Executor.
Executor.
He's like the executive of the Dark Souls company.
Yeah. Right.
Executor.
Dude, that was cool. Like, I don't know if have you gotten all the remembrances, Buck?
No,
yes,
sorry.
Yeah,
that character is impenetrable to me.
Oh no, he's become one of my favorite characters. And
it's
actually,
the relics. It's the relics you put on him.
The relics, and also two-handing katanas and proccing bleed, and because he has a high arcane skill, so he can apply status effects really easily and very well.
He's
so
the king
like
of the status effects.
you dual wield katanas, and he goes fucking nuts. He does crazy DPS. His ult is crazy, and then if you ever have the opportunity, you can pull out one of the parries if you can pull it off, which is pretty tough. But I did it the other day; it was really cool. I did like an awesome fucking parry, and then it was cool. But the remembrance for him is awesome. Like you have to, spoilers, but you have to fight another Executor in like a Sekiro style like match where you're just essentially
have to parry.
Right, you have to parry, and then you do the shit where like you fly right past him, and like it was really cool. So I only got 2 more remembrances left, so hopefully
shame
I
on
can
you
get
for
all those
thinking
done.
that Buck hasn't done anything in this game. When you,
Right,
why would you point has he done the remembrances?
I'm sorry. How many hours are you at now in this game, Buck?
270.5.
270. Okay, I'm starting to catch up. I'm like at
Fucking ripping and tearing like a baller.
I didn't play over the weekend, and then the Libra, the night the Libra new one came out, or the other one before, I was like, man, I played this game a couple of days. I really miss playing it. It's only been like 3 days, man.
I'm at 58.9.
Yeah, I'm at like over 100 and something now. Yeah. But yeah, that's my what else you got? It's
more Night Rain, more game of the year. What do I win when I'm right at the end of the year?
Another game.
Yeah.
Another game. That does it for another episode of the Game Treasure Podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching, dear viewer or listener. Make sure to like and subscribe if you've come this far and you haven't. That's crazy. You can email us at gametreasurepodcast@gmail.com with any comments you want us to read on the show, any games that you have for us to play. I still got to play that code for that caveman game that you sent me, Buck, because that game looks really cool. Make sure to head on over to our merch store, which you can find at our linktree /TheGTP, to get your hands on a King of Video Games t-shirt or a Choose Your Host mug. And I think we definitely need to make John Night Rain merch now,
Before it gets so popular.
While you're there at the Linktree, you can also find our patreon.com/TheGTP. If you could, donate $5, it's $5 a month. You get access to bonus content. Right now, we've got our UFO of 50 deep dive series up on there. But if you just feel like supporting us out of the kindness of your heart with $5, as if we were a man begging for it on the streets, let's say, you could do that. Again,
don't go to jail.
Linktree /TheGTP. We want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find them on Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you can find music on the internet. They put out that new album this past year, so go check that out. And, of course, we got to thank RetroGameTreasure.com, owned and operated by the Mega Buck himself, sponsor of the Retro Zone game. RetroGameTreasure.com is a subscription service that takes the hassle out of growing your retro video game collection. No more hunting around town. No more guessing whether a game is going to be something you like. No more wasted time, frankly. Instead, RetroGameTreasure.com subscribers select from a wide genre list of video games to play or to collect from a wide list of consoles. And then at the end of the month, Buck and RetroGameTreasure.com send you a beloved little package of joy filled with games of those genres for those consoles to grow your collection. And also, they make it easy to start collecting for a new console because they have a console shop where you can buy new and refurbished consoles. Then you just head on over to your preference page, select that new console there, and then boom, those games are coming to you every week. So save time and start collecting games the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. Buck, hit me with this week's subscribers.
This week we welcome Alex Hamilton, Jackson Shrum, Heiko Gordon Cower, Brandon Flood, Chris Skoronsky, Mitch Winter, Jesus Onofree, Steve Ryan, and Christine Peptine.
Thank you so much for subscribing. It means a lot, and it really helps. But until next week, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure Podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.